FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, is looking into the fact that the popular trading app CEO is not licensed by the agency. This comes just ahead of the company's much anticipated public debut. Matt Egan joins me now. Matt, and this is one of the stories that you picked up on right in the beginning, but I think we just need to understand what the issue is here, because my understanding is if you are the CEO of a parent company, and that's what the CEO of Robinhood is, then you don't need to be licensed, regulated by FINRA. So what's the issue here, and what might regulators be asking questions about?
Now, before we hear from him, this is the sort of thing, there is so much doubt with Robinhood. Answers unanswered, questions unanswered. I'm sitting here wanting to invest in Robinhood. They're telling me that there is a phone line. There isn't. The CEO himself said that, but there isn't. They're telling me that wallets are coming. Surely they would have announced that before the IPO, because that's very, very important. And we know about the different investigations into the company, and now there's further. On the eve of the IPO, it leaves so much in doubt, and I wish someone could give me the answers. But there just isn't anything. Let's hear a bit more.
Well, Julia, legal experts have told me that this is a bit of a gray area. FINRA does require that the CEOs of registered broker-dealers get licensed with the agency. Now, the goal is to make sure that these executives get the training, that they demonstrate the competence that they need for these important jobs, and also it lets the public track whether or not there's any violations. Now, Robinhood would argue, to your point, that it's in the clear here because Vlad Tenev is the CEO of the parent company that owns the broker-dealer. But some experts that I talked to in February, when we reported on this news, they were alarmed by the fact that Tenev is not registered because he's the public face of the company. We recall how he testified in front of Congress earlier this year during the Reddit and GameStop hearings.
See, look, and this is my point. Whether he needs to be registered or not, it seems to me that there is a lack of transparency, a lack of information. There seems to be this feeling of what is actually going on. So I don't know. I'm left unsure about it. We'll come back to that video in a second. Robinhood starts trading Thursday. Here's everything investors need to know. Okay, Robinhood is scheduled to hit the market Thursday in one of the most highly anticipated initial public offerings of the year. Indeed it is. The stock trading app will trade on NASDAQ under the ticker HOOD, priced at an expected $38 to $48 per share. Robinhood is looking to sell 55 million shares at that range to raise as much as $2.3 billion. US dollars. At the top end of the range, Robinhood would be valued at 35 billion, and the co-founders would each own stakes worth about 2.8 billion. Coinbase, which went public in April, excuse me a minute, got an itchy nose, bit of dust there, has fully diluted market capitalization of 65 billion. The apps are among the most popular places for consumers to buy cryptocurrency, which have surged in trading in 2001. Robinhood, whose long-standing mission is to democratize investing, is seen as the main gateway to the markets for young investors. The free trading pioneer has experienced explosive growth in the past few years amid a boom in retail trading. The company estimates its 18 million retail clients and more than 80 billion in customer assets in the first quarter ballooned to 2.5 million users and more than 100 billion in the second quarter of 2021. Robinhood is the third largest brokerage based on number of funded accounts, behind Fidelity and Charles Schwab, which purchased TD America last year. So it looks great, right? It looks like there's potential. It looks like there's opportunity here. And I'm excited for all of this. I like the app. I use it. And I'm relying on it for my my pension. Absolutely. Let's go and have a little bit more listen to that video and see what else we can learn from that video.
There's also one former compliance officer told me that this is a huge story on a scale of 1 to 10. It's a 10. I think the key, though, is going to be how regulators conclude just how involved Vlad Tenev is in the sort of the day-to-day operations of the company. And some of Tenev's previous comments could come back to haunt him. He did that interview on Clubhouse with Elon Musk earlier this year, where he described being really involved in some of the negotiations, the very delicate negotiations with Robinhood's clearinghouse over how much capital the company needed to put up. Now, we don't know how this is going to end as far as this investigation, but clearly, Julia, regulators are looking very closely at Robinhood ahead of this blockbuster IPO.
See, that there, when he said about how Vlad is involved in the company, did you notice during the presentation, the roadshow, it seemed to me that all the answers for the questions were being read, so they were pre-set. Okay, that's not so bad, but they were being read off teleprompters. Well, if you understand, and that's okay, I get that, but I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm not looking at a teleprompter, right? I know what I'm talking about, at least I hope so, and I'm telling you how I see it. Vlad Tenev is the CEO of Robinhood. Shouldn't he be able to answer the questions without prompters and, to basic questions? It's so frustrating because I really want it to do well. But I'm just so unsure, and I don't want to invest for the sake of it when it's just the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, and they do have a president that heads up each of these individual business lines, whether it's the clearinghouse operations, whether it's the brokerage too. And I guess that's the other point that they're going to make here. And there is precedent. Does Jack Dorsey have a FINRA?
No, so Jack Dorsey is not registered with FINRA. However, Charles Schwab, CEO, is registered with FINRA, and Webull, which is a rival of Robinhood, their CEO is also licensed with FINRA. So as I said, it is a bit of a gray area.
Just leaves me to say, God bless America, God save the Queen. Take care of yourselves and each other.